Hi moms, it's Farah and I am so happy to be back after the holidays. Um, Apologize in advance, the video quality might not be so great. Obviously I'm filming from my car at the moment, but I absolutely had to tell you guys how I sampled my dream life over the holidays. So, first of all, I'll tell you kind of what I mean, and a little bit about like why I think that you should do the same in whatever capacity you're able to. So I had an opportunity to take some time. Now, I will say as a disclaimer, I was not able to stop doing my corporate job for this full time, but I did take a break from like my business pursuits for about 2 weeks. And so you guys wouldn't have noticed me online. I didn't really do anything on YouTube or on Skool, Skool, for that time frame, and I was just kind of taking time for myself. So one of the things that happened is I was able to stay in some hotels. I stayed in like a couple of hotels. I was able to take the kids and visit some family, and it was amazing. It was so good. You know, we knocked off like all these bucket list items. Like we got to see Christmas lights, and oh yeah, by the way, I celebrate Christmas. I am not religious, but I still celebrate Christmas. New Year's was kind of just like I mentally maybe celebrated in my head on my own, but anyhow, you know, we got to stay in those hotels. We got to go swimming all the time, like whenever we wanted to, aside from, you know, when I had to work and everything. But we were able to do, like I said, Christmas lights. The kids were able to go have this amazing experience. And I don't know if it's copyrighted, so I'm not going to say specifically. Also, pardon anything on my teeth, but anyway, they got to like basically get these custom toys. It was just so cool, and we ate out at like these really nice restaurants sometimes. Sometimes we were just eating, you know, whatever, like sandwiches or lunch in the hotel, and that's like no big deal. But the point is, I was able to relax. I was able to have experiences with my kids. I didn't have to do a ton of cleaning. I didn't have to do a ton of cooking. All of these things are a part of my absolute dream life, my ideal situation that I would love to be in and to live in. And so I saw beauty all around me. I saw comfort all around me. And I struggled internally at first because I'm thinking like I have the stress of work, and yeah, that's really real. You know, I have the stress of like my corporate job. I have the stress of like I do need to be there for my community online. And you know, right now I'm trying to like focus on growth and exposing my community and showing people like, hey, I want to support busy working moms. I want to help people. So I'm trying to like build something. I'm trying to build up YouTube. I'm trying to build up my group on Skool and all of these things. And then, you know, I'm thinking like, is everything going to be okay at home? Like when I'm staying in a hotel and blah, 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 blah. There are a trillion things that I could focus on and freak out about and be anxious about and nervous about. But you know what? I told myself, here's the deal. If you really want this life, right? Like experience it in the full and stop being in an anxious state whenever you are experiencing these things. So I don't really know, I can't get into like the reasoning why that is a thing for me or why that works, but I do know that it's very important. So I would say maybe it has a lot to do with like grounding, making sure that when you have the opportunity to have these dream experiences, you are really having them. You know, you are really soaking in the time, especially because for me, one of the things that made me choose this as my niche is that I desperately, with everything in my being, want to have real experiences with my children that will be their core memories. Like I deeply want to connect with my children. I want them to know that they are loved. I want them to have amazing experiences. They can't have those if I'm not being mentally and emotionally present with them. So in order to be mentally and emotionally present with them as much as I possibly could, I did need to put off a couple of other things. Like, I needed to stop focusing on the growth of my YouTube and my school group just for temporary, just a couple of weeks, so that I could really experience with them. And additionally, all of that other mental chaos that we carry around sometimes as moms, and especially as, working professionals and moms who maybe if you're doing everything on your own or whatever, you don't have a whole lot of help, blah, blah, blah. It could be anything, it could be any number of things that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. But when those things are floating around in your head, it's sucking energy away from you. It is taking energy away from you to continuously allow yourself to be anxious about things in the background. And so I not only told myself chill, but also I framed it in such a way that actually one of my friends who has a group on school mentioned it, and I was like, oh my God, you just articulated what I was doing. So what I was doing was I was thinking to myself, if you are a millionaire, if that's what you are manifesting is a millionaire lifestyle, and by the way, I am, I guess putting that on my, that's my vision. So sorry, that's a weird way to say that. But anyway, when you're thinking of the person you deeply want to be them as much as you can, channel them as much as you can. And so what I asked myself was, okay, millionaire Farah, is she stressed out about these things, or is she doing work when it's time to work, and then focusing on the kids and focusing on how the water feels around her body and focusing on the taste of this food and focusing on savoring this wine? Oh yeah, by the way, I was given free wine, and I actually, we all know alcohol is bad for you, right? But I do enjoy some wine, and I was offered so much free wine. I only really took, I think, 2 glasses over the period of all the time that I was offered it, because, so in my mind, this is a good thing. The less alcohol you drink, the better for your body, right? So anyway, I was offered more alcohol and I took less alcohol because I was just this is just a small experience that I want to have. But that's not what I'm focusing on. So essentially my focus became all of the healthy things, all of the fun things, all of the amazing things. And I was so distracted by all of the good because I forced myself to think as the person I want to be and not as the person who maybe I am in the moment, whatever, or the limited beliefs. I cleared those out. So I was so enriched with the good experiences that I was having and I wanted to have in the way that I wanted to have them, that I wasn't attracted to things that were unhealthy. I absolutely had my mind focused on what I really, really enjoyed. And so why I say that I sampled my dream life is that I, for those few days, was able to really soak in what it felt like to be my ideal self and to have my dream life. And my goal here is to help you, all of you moms who I possibly can help in any way, to get from where you are to the life of your dreams, whether that's in one aspect or in every aspect of your life. That is my dream. It gives me goosebumps, okay? Thinking of the idea that I could help someone feel better about themselves in any arena of life, or less stressed about motherhood, or more present in their lives, or love themselves a little more deeply, or care for themselves in a way that they deserve and they maybe have never had before. That lights me up. It makes me emotional. It makes me happy. I want that for everyone so deeply. So here is the call to action. Sample your dream life in whatever way you can. Now, you might say, well, I can't just go do some expenses paid type of trip or whatever. Yeah, a lot of people cannot, but I'm telling you, if you have an opportunity, say if somebody is like gifting you with an experience or something like that, say yes, do that. If it's not that, I will tell you, one of the things that I did was I didn't even have a permanent place to live necessarily. I was not making very much money. I just was not in a good space financially or mentally or anything. And for some reason, and this is several years ago, right? But for some reason, I saw this really nice cup. It was a nice little like teacup. It was yellow and floral, and it was bright and it was beautiful. And I just thought to myself, like, I can see this being in a wealthy person's home. And for some reason, I just looked at it and it gave me joy. And it was maybe, I don't know, it was less than $10. It was maybe like $6. And I didn't really have $6 extra. I had $6, but I was like, I don't know. It was kind of a financial sacrifice for me at that time. And I bought it anyway, because for me, it was an embodiment of the life that I wanted to have. And I'm not saying to go out and waste your money all the time, like chasing a fantasy. Please don't do that. But what I'm saying is, if you have a way to inspire yourself without ruining what you want for the future, you know, because like, think about it, $6, I made $6 back, okay, eventually. Like, it was okay. Don't ever do something at the expense of your safety or your health. Don't ever, or your children's, obviously. But what I'm saying is, if you can catch a little glimmer, if you can feel for a second what your ideal self wants to feel, you know, if you can grab a moment with your children that your ideal self wants to have, please do those things. And don't only do the experience as you are, and don't do the experience as an overwhelmed and a stressed out person, but try to channel the person you really deeply want to be. So I hope this is inspiring for you. I hope I wasn't just like blabbering on forever to no effect, but I just want you guys to know that, like, you deserve it. You deserve it. And I don't have enough words to convince you that you deserve it, but trust me, that is what I deeply believe in the core of my being. Okay. So, please go out there and follow your dreams. A lot of people think I sound absolutely ridiculous by saying, like, what does millionaire Farah do? And, you know, like, I'm being millionaire Farah today or whatever. Like, maybe that sounds ridiculous to you, but for me, I need that. I need to have my mind there so that then my facts of my life can catch up to where my mind and my spirit are. So I hope that makes sense. Again, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for even watching this, even taking the time and giving that to me. That is a gift, your time. So thank you so much. And I will see you later on the channel or in my school group, SKOOL. All of those things are labeled Well Planned Working Mom. Bye.